Hey everyone. So a few months ago I purchased the HTC Vive virtual reality headset system, and I got to tell you, they're a lot of fun. VR is an amazing experience. In my opinion, the HTC Vive is the better of the choices that you have out there. A lot of people are comparing it to the Oculus Rift Touch, which was recently released here in December, but they're still saying that the Vive is better. The reason for that is its room scale, its immersive, in-depth feeling. They're saying that the Rift just doesn't quite have it down as good as the Vive does. But I don't own the Rift, so I can't tell you that for certain. But what I can tell you is that there is one thing that we all have in common, whether you're a Vive or a Rift owner, is that we hate the cables that go from the head display to the computer. And the reason for that is if you're in an application like Google Earth that requires you to move around a lot, or a game that requires you to crawl around in a room, it's just inevitable. You're going to trip over the cable, and that can't be good because you're going to rip the cable out of the wall or out of your computer, ruin it. So I've seen a few videos out there on the internet of people posting their cable management solution. So I thought I'd share with you what I did for mine, and hopefully it works for you guys. So what I did is I went to Walmart and I found these little ID badge holders, and you've seen these. You clip them to your belt and gives you a little slack there. Actually, they go a lot further, but it's hard to do that with one hand. And then I found these little cable rings, or not cable rings, but these little rings here. And they come in a pack of, I don't know, 8 or 9. And they have a variety of different sizes. As you can see, a small to large. And only a few bucks. And so let me show you what I did here. I have my base station here where you plug in the head display, and that goes into your computer. I found this 6-inch bungee cord. Actually, there's a pack of them at Walmart as well for just a few bucks. I think everything that I spent for this project is less than $10. And 10 bucks for this trust me, it's worth it. So I mounted that to the thing, keeps the tension of the cable up off the ground. And here's what I did. My ceiling fan has 4 lampposts. I use those rings to wrap around each lamppost. And I put one on each of the lampposts to the cable here. Now the weight of that cable, it's kind of heavy. This is a new 3-in-1 cable. They have the older one was flat and a little bit heavier. Well, they're saying this one's heavier, but man, I don't know. This seems a lot lighter. But in either case, one of them wouldn't do the trick. 2 will, but I had 4 lampposts, so I figured I'd use all 4 of them. And that keeps the weight of the cable off the ground, so I can run around this room, which isn't a very large room, but it's plenty enough space to do what I want to do with the Vive. And so that's my solution. Something else I'd like to share with you guys, I found at Home Depot. I think they're seasonal. And the reason why I said I think they're seasonal is because they were with the Christmas tree lights, and they're hard to find any other time throughout the year. So what you do is you get 3 different plugs. And whatever you plug into that, plug into the wall outlet, you turn them off and on. And obviously, for a good reason for that, I have my base station on one plug, on one sensor on one, and then each lighthouse on a separate channel there. And so that scans the room, and I'm able to play in a virtual world that is absolutely amazing. Guys, if you haven't tried VR, I highly recommend going to a local mall where they have a Microsoft store. They always have them on display there, so it works pretty well. Something else I'll share with you real quick. I didn't want to drill holes in the wall, and, well, I mean, that's technically drilling holes in the wall, but I didn't want to drill a hole and drop cables down the wall is what I'm trying to say. So I found these tubings at Home Depot as well, and coincidentally, they match the color of my walls pretty well. And I know what you're probably thinking. This guy is wrapped really, really tight. Yeah, I might be, but I wanted to keep it neat looking. And yeah, it's clean. Anyways, that's my solution. One more piece of information for you. If you own any G20 owners out there, the Asus G20 computer, it's a really good computer. But mine is a bit older. It didn't come with a graphics card that would support virtual reality. I think you need a 970 minimum. Mine was a 960. Asus told me that you can't upgrade the graphics card, but that's not true. I think they just wanted to sell another computer. But you can purchase the GTX 1080 Founders Edition. And the reason why you have to use the Founders Edition, and it is specific Founders Edition, is because if you notice on each side of the G20, there's no vent ports on the side. And that graphics card vents the heat out the back of the card, which is facing the back of the computer. If you use any other card, you're going to have thermal problems because it's not going to have any way of dispensing the heat. Now, even though you buy the GTX 1080, the power requirements on this is more than adequate. It comes with two power bricks, and the TDP is 180 on the graphics card, so I'm well within the parameters of thermals and power consumption. So don't let ASUS fool you. You can do it. I've been running this card on this graphics card on this computer for, well, I knew I was going to eventually get virtual reality, so I went ahead and upgraded. But I've been using this for like 3 or 4 months, no lockups and benchmarks. Now, there are thermal warnings there. They're like 70 to 80. That was a concern to me, but if you check NVIDIA's website, that's well within the parameters of safe zone. I think their maximum is 98 Celsius, so you won't have any problems with thermals, but it does run a little hot. Some people are kind of concerned about that, but again, I've been using it for months, not even one lockup. And let's hope that helps everyone. That's my solution. Thanks.